The samurai were the elite warriors of Japan, a class that emerged during the Heian period, 794–1185, and became dominant throughout the medieval era. They were not merely soldiers, but a disciplined and highly trained military aristocracy that shaped Japanese culture, governance, and society for centuries. Their influence lasted until the late 19th century, when Japan underwent modernization and the samurai class was officially abolished. Originally, the samurai served noble families and powerful landowners, known as daimyo. They were bound by a deep sense of loyalty, honor, and duty to their lords. Over time, as military conflicts became more frequent, these warriors gained political influence, and the most powerful among them rose to rule entire regions. The samurai were not just skilled in combat. They followed a strict ethical code known as Bushido, or the Way of the Warrior. This code emphasized virtues such as loyalty, courage, integrity, and self-discipline. It shaped their conduct both on and off the battlefield. Training was rigorous, beginning in childhood, and included mastery of the sword, katana, archery, horsemanship, and later, firearms. However, beyond physical prowess, samurai were also expected to engage in scholarly pursuits such as poetry, philosophy, and calligraphy. During the Kamakura period, 1185–1333, the samurai cemented their role as the ruling military class under the leadership of the shogun, a powerful military ruler. While the emperor remained the symbolic head of Japan, real power rested in the hands of the samurai government. This period saw the rise of legendary warriors and battles that defined Japan's feudal history. The samurai class continued to dominate through the Ashikaga and Tokugawa shogunates, adapting to changing warfare and social structures. However, as Japan entered a prolonged era of peace under the Tokugawa rule, 1603–1868, the need for constant military service declined. Samurai increasingly took on administrative roles, but their warrior spirit remained a defining feature of their identity. Yet, not all samurai were able to maintain their status. Some found themselves without a master due to war, political shifts, or the death of their lord. These masterless samurai were known as Ronin, and their fate was uncertain in a society built on loyalty and service. Ronin, meaning wave man, were samurai who had lost their lord, and with it, their place in society. Some Ronin sought new masters, while others turned to teaching, farming, or even mercenary work. However, many found themselves struggling to survive in a world that placed great importance on hierarchy and duty. While some Ronin followed the principles of Bushido and sought honorable paths, others turned to less noble means, including banditry or rebellion. The most famous example of loyal Ronin is the 47 Ronin, a legendary group of samurai who avenged their master's unjust death, even though it meant breaking the law. Their story became a powerful symbol of loyalty and sacrifice, showing the enduring influence of Bushido even among those without a master. The Bushido code itself evolved over time, but its core values remained constant. It was a way of life, rather than a set of strict laws. The code emphasized loyalty. A samurai's duty was to serve their lord with unwavering devotion. Courage, bravery in battle and in life was essential, even in the face of death. Integrity. A samurai was expected to be honest and true in all actions. Respect, courtesy, and consideration, even to enemies, demonstrated discipline. Compassion. True strength included kindness and care for others. Honor. A samurai's reputation was their most valued possession. Duty and self-control. Emotions and personal desires must never interfere with responsibility. Even after the samurai era ended in the late 19th century, the legacy of the Bushido Code lived on. influencing Japan's military, business culture, and sense of national identity. Today, samurai are remembered not just as warriors, but as symbols of discipline, honor, and unwavering dedication. Their history, filled with legendary battles, noble sacrifices, and unwavering loyalty, continues to inspire people around the world. Whether through stories of heroic samurai, wandering ronin, or the enduring values of Bushido, the way of the warrior remains an unforgettable part of Japan's cultural heritage. For centuries, the samurai ruled Japan's military and political landscape, shaping its culture and governance. However, as Japan moved toward modernization in the 19th century, the era of the samurai came to an end. The introduction of new weapons, political shifts, and the influence of Western ideas gradually diminished the role of the warrior class. The downfall of the samurai began during the late Edo period, 1603–1868, a time of peace under the Tokugawa shogunate. With no major wars to fight, many samurai became bureaucrats, teachers, or scholars. They still held status and privileges, but their warrior skills became less relevant. Meanwhile, economic difficulties forced many lower-ranking samurai into financial hardship, as they depended on stipends from their lords that were shrinking over time. The real turning point came in 1853, when U.S. Naval Commander Matthew Perry arrived in Japan with powerful warships, demanding that the country open its borders to trade. This event shook the foundations of the Tokugawa rule, exposing Japan's military weakness in the face of modern weaponry. It became clear that the traditional ways of the samurai were no match for advanced firearms and industrialized warfare. In response, Japan underwent a period of rapid modernization known as the Meiji Restoration in 1868. The emperor was restored to power. The feudal system was dismantled, and the samurai class was officially abolished. The government introduced a conscripted army based on Western models, replacing the samurai with modern soldiers. For many samurai, this was a difficult transition. Some embraced modernization, joining the new government or military, while others resisted, unwilling to let go of their traditions. Among these resistors was Saigō Takamori, one of the last true samurai warriors. Saigō Takamori had been a strong supporter of the emperor and modernization, but he grew disillusioned when he saw how the changes stripped the samurai of their honor and livelihood. In 1877, he led the Satsuma Rebellion, a final attempt to restore the samurai way of life. Saigō and his followers, mostly former samurai, took up arms against the imperial government. Though outnumbered and facing an army equipped with modern weapons, they fought bravely, relying on traditional combat skills and unwavering determination. However, their swords and outdated tactics could not withstand the firepower of rifles and artillery. The rebellion ended with Saigō's defeat at the Battle of Shiroyama, where he and his remaining warriors made their final stand. Rather than surrender, they chose to fight to the last moment, embodying the spirit of Bushido until the end. Saigō became a legendary figure, later honored as a national hero despite his rebellion. Although the samurai class was officially abolished, their influence never truly disappeared. Their code of honor, discipline, and loyalty continued to shape Japan's military, business practices, and cultural identity. The values of Bushido inspired generations, from soldiers in World War II to corporate leaders in Japan's economic rise. Even today, the samurai remain an iconic symbol in literature, films, and martial arts. Their legendary stories, from the 47 Ronin to Miyamoto Musashi, continue to captivate people worldwide. The samurai may no longer walk the battlefields of Japan, but their spirit lives on in the ideals of honor, perseverance, and dedication, that still define Japanese culture today.